What a terrible thing. He said, honey, I messed up. I need your love and support. Most importantly, I need that 30,000 check. Don't bring the girls, please, aboard. Dr. Maurice Woolen, he's in a real tight squeeze, caught up in a scandal, begging, please, dear God, help me, please. He said, wife, don't let him come. Oh, don't bring the girls. I'm scared for my life. I'm caught up in this whirlwind. My head is all in a twirl. My head is all in a twirl. Oh, Dr. Maurice Woolen, in a desperate chase, trying to escape this mess at a lightning pace. For $30,000, he's got to find a way to make things right and survive to see another day.
You're listening to FFOP Radio.
Reach the welcome to the show. My name is Dave. This is FFOP Radio. Welcome to it. I've got something for you tonight. Once again, supplied by a friend of the show, Ryan Maxwell. You may see him dropping that bullshit Woolens Gate stuff in the chat. Don't believe it. But let me introduce you to my co-host and producer off camera. Krista is right over there.
Hashtag Woolengate 2024. The shoe.
This weird cult you guys are putting together is going to have to be reported to some higher authority soon, I feel like. Anyway, welcome, people. Here we are. Thank you, Captain Pie. I'm assuming you're talking about the Woolens Gate song, or maybe you're talking about Slothfest. Either way, they're both good stuff. Got a couple of things for you. First, though, I was informed I got something in the mail from the aforementioned Ryan Maxwell, and I'm going to unbox it here for you. So I feel like Krista already opened it.
I did, because there's a lot of tape.
Okay, so here we go. This is a special treat from Ryan Maxwell. Oh, yo, this is what I thought it was, because I felt like you can't probably don't know what it is yet, but I'm about to show you. It's the one thing I don't have. Check that out. It's the TMNT movie on VHS. I mean, it's not like the professionally graded one, right? No, I'm just kidding. It's yeah, man, radical.
He says, "Happy belated birthday."
Yeah, thank you so much, man. Oh man, this brings me back. I probably wore through mine, so I'm glad to have a new copy. However, I don't have a VCR anymore. I used to. I don't know what happened to that shit, but I wouldn't play that anyway because it's precious. It's a highly priced commodity by me, at least. Yes, and the Pizza Hut baseball commercial. I'm gonna have to. Yeah, obviously it's the best Turtles movie. Like, how do you look at that? Like, not for nothing. Real quick side tangent, whatever. People always talk about like the perfect scripts and these great movies around that time. So like the Ghostbusters is one, Back to the Future is another, like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, sort of all in that time period. I think TMNT is one of those ones you can throw into like a Back to the Future category where it's like a perfect script. There's no fat on it. Everything works perfectly. That thing sings. Yeah, Jameson, I mean, you had to, right? It was the only way. You had to rewind it, and that took forever because you wanted to just get back right into it again.
Ryan says, did you know that Gallagher is responsible for that movie existing?
I just saw an article about that.
That's probably, he just learned about it last night, about that.
Or was it a YouTube video? Like, I just saw that and I go, whoa, I'm going to have to look into that deeper because that is wild. But anyway, yeah. Thank you, Ryan Maxwell, for that VHS copy. That is baller. And that's the thing. I've been looking for one of those for a while. Like, we'll go to Goodwill's. VHS tapes end up there, but...
Never turtles. Isn't that fucked up?
I mean, a little. We can talk about it later because it's crazy. But, so here's the thing. Let me get this pulled in here. So, you read the comics and watched the cartoons. I think, yeah, that was really what really pulled it all together. It wasn't super duper dark like the comics, could get. And it wasn't like stupid. Like, don't get me wrong. I've got a TMNT. Maybe I can pick it up for you. So I've got the collector set of all the discs for the original animated series, and I love it, but it like sort of falls off around season 4 or 5 if you're generous.
James says, I'll take a 10-minute Little League commercial over the 30 minutes of movie trailers you get before a movie now.
Seriously, man, like, cause that commercial was like an infomercial because it was like a short film. Like, there was an arc, there were characters that you got to know immediately, you knew their motivation, you knew exactly what was going on, and like, hello. It was a crazy thing because then you watch that pizza commercial, right? And the pizza that's delivered, Domino's.
Domino's.
Forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza. You know what I mean? Because it was $1.22 and an eighth. I had the toothbrush. Yeah, I had the toothbrush, the cereal. I eat those disgusting pies, the crunch of bungas that were like everything I ever wanted out of a snack food. Boy, oh boy. The thick purple case. So, full disclosure, I've got 3 sets. I've got that collector's edition you saw. I've got a bulk one that is not collector's. It's just like a DVD wallet. And then as they were coming out in singular seasons back then, before they released them all at once or in one package, I have them,
all of those.
3 times. So I'm getting at. Yeah, they were disgusting. It was like vanilla, right? Vanilla pudding, but it was green. I mean, and those pies weren't good on a great day. You know what I mean?
It's funny that TMNT has always been sponsored by Pizza Hut, including the 90s movie, but in the movie...
It was Domino's that got delivered. I feel like maybe when they were shooting it, they had something with Domino's, obviously, and that must have fallen through, and Pizza Hut swooped in to be like, yeah, we'll take it.
Who else would do it? Was going to do it? Like, what else? What other pizza places were there that were big like Pizza Hut and Domino's? Like, Little Caesars wasn't like... I
mean, they were big, but they're like Little Caesars. Yikes. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, coupon.
Yeah, TMNT too, whatever. We can talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles all day and night if you want to. However, we've got some Kool-Aid stuff, but I will talk about them a little longer. So, like, when the second one came out, obviously it felt toothless because the lights were all turned on, the weapons were all taken away, and like, I love Ernie Reyes Jr. He just felt like a fifth wheel. And the April change, Judith Hogue, number one in my heart always. And not that the lady who stepped in afterwards did a serviceable job. Splinter was on the roof coming to a conclusion. It wasn't bad is what I'm getting at. And plus it gave us Super Shredder, even though it was like 30, maybe even 15 seconds. And Toka and Razor, I don't think I would like to live without them. They're living up there right now. So, I felt like the second one was a strong entry. No T2 level performance, but whatever. So, here, back to business. What we're going to be watching is apparently, this was sent to me by Ryan Maxwell, just in case you didn't know. Yeah, basically, Jameson. So what I've got here is I love team ups. Number one, so that's a great way to watch this. But it's KB's and Kool-Aid, and it is like, oh my God, I can't even liken it to anything because I've never done hard drugs or basically any drugs because I've always like been too afraid. But it would feel like maybe like this, like popping an aspirin is like what you think the 90s is, and what this video is, because spoiler alert, I watched a little bit of it, is like black tar heroin injected directly into your veins as a first-time user. It feels like I could have swore this could have been 93, 94. It's so 90s. Kool-Aid nailed the 90s in 91. So I'm getting at. And like, holy crap. Anyway, that's what we're going to be watching. Let me make it nice and big for you. Oh, and all that why I'm saying that is like, this is probably copywritten with all the sounds and the products and whatever. So if the show suddenly dies,
That's why.
that's why.
Ryan says, I bought the tape at a garage sale for $0.25.
Nice.
And this is just a coincidence, but there's a lot of footage from one of the public domain Popeye cartoons.
On this? Is this a rip that you made? Because that's crazy. I mean, it's great. I'm glad you found it. I wish the resolution were a little better if we're not going to get nitpicky, and I know you did this. If there's a way to up the resolution,
He said, yep.
please try, because let me show you people at home. That's this is the resolution we are looking at. So if it looks terrible blown up, it's because it's the size of a postage stamp. Not to dog on Ryan, because like, hell, he found this shit, and like, who else is gonna do it? So yeah, thank you, and thanks for letting me complain. Here we go.
Whoa.
Guys, it's 91. This feels like 94 in my bones.
Look.
The subtle picture manipulation is unnerving. I found it unnerving back then. I find it unnerving now. Like when their eyes get big and their mouths get weird and the drain even gets big and small. It reminds me, like we had this program, Snappy or whatever. You could mess with your photos and do all that kind of shit. It always like came out like, we didn't have a term for it back then, but it was Uncanny Valley because like it was people you knew and things you knew, but you fucked with them just enough and you go, that's not good. All the flavors, you guys.
Yes, it's like rip-off of The Mask.
Totally, but this is like before The Mask.
Because
The Mask, well, that's the thing. The 90s and, everything in it was sort of aping that Looney Tunes style. It's not talked about much, but I feel like the 90s was a kind of, even though everybody was wearing hippie shit, it was thematically sort of a throwback to the 40s because it was, like the cartoons, you know what I mean? Like Looney Tunes. Like, watch the Gwar movie for like a perfect example of that. Then it's terrible, but you'll get it. It just feels like everything was a little bit larger than life. Like all the violence was a little bit crazier, just like it is in those cartoons where it was still allowed. Mm-hmm. So, and I don't know if anybody's like called attention to that because everybody's butt ass crazy in love with the 50s, and we all had like wear 60s shit school spirit day. No one ever did shit about the 40s, but I think that threw more into the ring than anybody thinks.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Here on a dusty desert? Sounds like the tundra, maybe. Who else was Adam? Oh, Sandler. God damn it. I hate him, Sandler.
I hate Will Ferrell.
Isn't this weird? Are we on a pirate ship?
Yep. No, it's one of those old cars. It's like an old Corolla.
This is a whatchamacallit commercial.
Kool-Aid man. Come a little closer. We're about to bug out on a fun tip.
Doesn't this sound exactly like the Kool-Aid Man? Hey, y'all, it's the Kool-Aid Man. We're about to bug out. Oh, yeah. Don't get me wrong. I like a funky Kool-Aid Man. But
Just you, me, and the TV. All right.
Fleischer Superman cartoons.
Oh, yeah. Check it out. While you're laying back, maxing and relaxing to my slamming track. Well, I'm the K to the O to the O to the L. A-I-D, man, huh? Can't you tell?
Like, you know, there's so many musical genres that, like, basically came about fairly recently. Like, you know, it's hard to, like, if you're a fan of whatever rock sounds like today, I don't know if you'd have appreciation for, like, the 50s and 60s and everybody who, like, you know, the pioneers or whatever, because you like the way it is now, not necessarily how it is then.
Mm-hmm.
And rap is one of those ones where you always look back and you go, oh my God. Like, because the amount of rap today is unbelievable. Like, the speed and the clarity and the, you know, it's like, it's, you know, a polished art form. Like, I don't think it can go any further. Like, there are so many genres of rap, and this goes for all genres of music anyway. But, like, turn the clock back a couple of ticks to the 90s, and you've got everything everything you're going to hear is going to be the Sugar Hill Gang. I mean, not necessarily them, but it's going to be that, like, slow and, like, very, it feels almost lazy, even though it was, like, laser cutting edge technology back then.
Yeah.
Like, I can't, and maybe that's the only genre that's, like, super duper dated, because most rock, like, if it has a guitar, I feel like that could transfer, get a little, but, like, if you're into anything modern, like Eminem, I can't imagine going and, like, listening to something of that era.
Right.
Like Flava Flav or something.
I was going to say, who do you think started that trend of what rap is like today? You think that was Eminem?
Oh, it predates. I mean, we can pick this apart for a million years because it's like everything else. It just sort of butted off and everybody has to put their own spin on it.
I fucking love Eminem.
Yeah, it's good. Rap battle. Oh, yeah. No, I'm saying.
Stick out your tongue up. The bell's rung up. Listen to my song.
And, like, you know, whatever. There was a Ronald Reagan rap. There was, like, Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys. Like, he had a little weird time. He released a rap album. Yeah, I got you, Jameson. Thank you.
You can't go wrong, of course. Kool-Aid
Yeah,
is
rapping
lounging
around.
and lounging is chilling. I'm the Kool-Aid man, you know, top billing. I mean, it's all saying G.
Yeah,
It
radio
doesn't make
is
sense
from
to me. Exert
Popeye
any
meets
energy
Sinbad.
when I can be playing B. You gotta take time.
Oh, yeah.
off to
I remember a lot of these. I just can't pull them because, like, this one right here, I remember seeing during a Pee-wee's Playhouse episode because he'd always have old public domain
and sweep
cartoons.
responsibility up under a rug. Save it for another day. Max and lay back. Bust my lazy crazy kooky track. Somebody say I'm Kool-Aid man, and we're gonna
That's right.
Don't take down the stream.
Kool-Aid man gonna make you smile. Skabilly diddly.
So when I was watching this, I was like, oh my God. So this hit me right in the memory bank because I had this on VHS. It's this, like, I don't know who the animation studio is. I'm sure Ryan does, but it's The Adventures of Gallagher. Not all the adventures of not Gallagher. Is his name Gallagher? God damn it. Gulliver. Sorry. Yes, Gulliver. Gulliver's Travels. Yeah. So okay. So Fleischer, I had this on VHS and it was part of an anthology. And this always, I don't know, it felt so weird. I mean, if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, like, this is a big waste of your time. But, like, you can see Gulliver here, and he's, like, you know, rotoscoped and looks like a normal human being. But, like, the Lilliputians, some of them, like, they do that cartoon thing where, like, you can live in a world where, you know, the king looks like one of the characters from, like, BC or that comic strip with the Viking where you totally don't look like a human, but you get it. And his daughter is like a smoking hot rotoscoped lady. And it's fucking crazy because you see Gulliver on that, but then, like, there's, it's like when the great Gazoo or whatever, some other zany character shows up. It's just weird.
The Fleischers invented rotoscope.
I don't doubt it. Because we were talking about Gallagher earlier. You guys put that, not you guys, Ryan put that seed in my head, that watermelon seed.
Oh yeah. So let's get started. I've got a lot of fun flicks to show you. A wacky workout that you can do along with us, and
shit
some
is so
games that'll be
wild.
different every time you play them. So
Oh.
grab a glass of Kool-Aid. We'll be back right after this.
So here's the. Hey, what's up, Matt? So what, Ryan? Unpack this a little bit, because did this come in like? Was it a packaged cassette tape that you sort of know what's going on? Because this is hitting me. It's like it's like washing over my body like a tsunami of nostalgia. But it's like not killing me. It's just like a nice warm. But like, it's so crazy because I mean I don't understand the point of it, and I watched a little bit of it already. So maybe I'm just not there yet, and then we're taking all that journey together. It was a giveaway. Okay, that was the thing. Like, you could get a VHS cassette tape for free with a promotional this or that anywhere. Like, every video store had like, oh, this is free, whatever.
Is your home infested with hedgehogs? Hedgehogs. They're everywhere you look.
Another thing I want to say about this is it's very, if you've this, I don't know how like the state of affairs are today, but if back in the day, or if they still do it, you play You Don't Know Jack, and you listen to those hilarious commercials during the credits, at least in the first one or two, like I would play the shortest game possible with whoever I was playing with, just so we could get to the credits to hear the fake commercials. So, and they were, I can't even pull any of the products, but they were some of the funniest shit that I ever like experienced on any media up until that point. And a lot of this feels like that plus a video element, because like this Gopher commercial's fucking crazy. And I have to believe that the footage is from some old timey thing that they're obviously just ripping off and putting their VO over. But like, what was it for?
You try to get rid of them yourself, but you're an amateur. They're just too quick for you, aren't they? What can you do? You can scream in panic, you can beg for mercy, or you can call the trained professionals who have devoted their lives to tracking down these pesky hedgehogs, fearlessly following their escape routes, no matter how perilous to their own.
And like, here's the part of this I watched already, so like, yeah, we all do. But like, I wonder if we're just like dropping frames or something, because it looks like this footage was like run in reverse, like the bowling pin thing we saw earlier.
Life and limb, and then safely relocating them to where they won't bother you and your lovely home. Yes, you want the experts at Harry's Hedgehog Hideaway. Yes, at Harry's, our skilled hedgehog relocators employ the latest in laser technology to temporarily and humanely incapacitate these beasts so they can be safely transported to Hedgehog Island off the coast of Guam. No job is too small, no hedgehog too large for your friends at Harry's Hedgehog Hideaway, located on that deserted road just outside of town. If you've got a hedgehog problem, and who doesn't, call Harry's Hedgehog Hideaway. Hedgehog is our middle name.
From the blackness of 100 million nights, from uncounted millions of light years away,
Boys and girls, I come from the planet Lip Sync. I'm sure you'd all like to know something about our new entertainment miracle, lip misreading.
Which is crazy, because this, if you've, watched or been associated with the show for a while, and if you haven't, I'll explain. We used to play, use your words, and they would do this sort of thing where you can make up the words as you go along. But this also, like, it's 91. The internet doesn't exist yet, and he's like, this would bloom again 30 years later, whatever, as bad lip reading. But like,
how it
cutting
works,
edge.
does it hurt? Well, the best way I can describe it to you is to tell you that we make our lips absolutely weird and contrived. Adverbs, pronouns, adjectives, so you believe you can read our lips even though we are saying something else.
amazing.
I want to play a little board game with you, and I can tell you that although I'm 50 zillion miles from your home, I can clearly predict just where you will and will not land when you move on this board.
So what he's going to do is like a magic trick that we'll get to later, and I'll have to move myself out of the frame because I'm going to be blocking a lot of the board. But this scene alone is so... I mean, what else... Like, FDO, you brought up MST3K, which is like, yeah, you're nail on the head. We've got I mean, there are so many things coming together. It's frying my brain because this feels like so many pieces of media that just like lived on YouTube contextless that I didn't know like this kind of stuff was happening on VHS tapes. You know, they were being handed out at KB Toys.
Hey, come close to the TV. Whoa! That's much too close.
Going mental.
Cut to the game board. Cut to the
Can you say going mental today on TV?
board.
Oh, okay. Let me get out of the way. Hold on.
Thank you. 9 items, 9 boxes. Look them over carefully. By the end of the game, I predict that you will land on a very, very special box. Of course, you probably know which one that is already, but why don't you just play along, okay? I want you to point your finger close to one of the 9 boxes. Your choice. When I say go, I want you to spell out the name written in the box you chose.
Just really quick, as it seems like I've been affected by the internet and like technology and the speed at which things move now too. But like when you were a kid, you were expected to sit and use this VHS cassette tape and listen to these instructions every time because it says you can play it all the time. There's a couple of times, many times as you want maybe. But I'm sitting here trying to get through this terrible because it's basically just like a math magic trick. I imagine is what we're about to, because I imagine, if I had to guess, I haven't seen all the way through this, I bet we're always going to land on Kool-Aid, but I could be wrong. Just like my attention span has dwindled away to nothing. I can't imagine my kid like trying to sit down to any of this and be like, yeah, I'm going to stay for nope, see ya.
And move your finger from box to box in any order you like. One box for each letter in the word. You can move up and down. You can move left and right, but you cannot move diagonally. Anywhere you like. Now, I know you're
That'll make E.T. fall into one of those pits.
confused. It's got to be tried and experienced. Let's say you start on the box marked school.
Really quick, like this was very obvious. Like the directions were very obvious. You count as you do the letters, and you can't move diagonally. Don't worry though, we've got a very long-winded example of how you can and cannot move right after this. I mean, it
I
will
don't
be
know why
this.
you start on school, but there you go. There are 6 letters in the word school, so we're going to count 6 spaces. S-C-H-O-O-L. And you landed on homework. Now you notice I started counting on a box next to school, not on school itself.
Don't do that,
Very
guys.
important. Or you could move like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you land on burger. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you land back on school. You can do it anywhere you like, but make sure you count the exact number of letters in whatever box you start on.
I bet. Again, I'm doubling down here. I bet we're always going to land on Kool-Aid, because why else would we be here? Why else would we be here? If at any point you could possibly land on homework, what are we doing here?
And no diagonal lines.
And no peeking.
So that's enough of an explanation. Let's get on with the game.
With more
Choose
explanation.
one of the 9 items.
Okay.
Point your finger at it.
Follow along at home. You
Now,
can't see me.
Spell
But
out the
Music.
name in the box, moving your finger one box for every letter. Go.
did you guys do it?
Yes.
I started easy. I'm not going to tell you because I feel like...
All right. I'm getting a mental picture.
Okay.
I see that you did not land on the box marked pizza, did you? No,
My
of
God.
course you didn't. Then we'll just take it away. Now, you cannot move onto that one again. Now, wherever you are on the board, I want you to count 4 spaces.
This feels like a purposeful attack against the Ninja Turtles at this point. and
Wait.
I'm telling you, it's an issue. What?
So now he wants you to move 4 spaces, not the spaces of the word.
Right, because it's a numbers magic trick. He needs you to land on Kool-Aid. It
But
doesn't matter what you choose in the
wanna
beginning.
move
We're
the
going
numbers
to
of burger.
land on Gary Busey.
All right.
Spaces. Move in whatever order you like.
Okay.
4 spaces. Count now.
1, 2, 3, 4.
4. How many seconds do you guys need to count to 4? More than 4?
Wait. I feel a rush. I'm going to eliminate 2 boxes.
I'm doing a drums.
I'm going to take away your music, so I might as well take away dancing too. That's
God.
what you'll get for not landing on them. Next, wherever you are now, you're going to move 3 spaces on whatever boxes are left. Move 3 times.
Guys, hurry up and get to Kool-Aid.
Well, I feel so bad about taking away your music and your dancing, I'm going to eliminate school. I thought you'd like that. Now,
Listen, there's no Sarah Boone's here. No one's worried about being a straight A student, right, guys?
It's true.
move 2 spaces.
Okay.
Well, if you don't have school, you don't need homework, so your homework is vaporized.
My God.
Now, I want you to move 3 spaces.
All right. I don't know. We're getting dicey, guys.
And we'll take away, I see it now, the candy box.
Oh, my God.
And
I wasn't on there.
finally, move 1.
My dog vaporized my homework.
Yes, we take away the TV box. We take away the burger box. And just as I predicted, you've landed on something very, very special. America's favorite.
Scottie Pippen.
Kool-Aid brand soft drink. I know you're all out there saying to yourselves, that's no entertainment miracle. Just a coincidence. What a fake. You're a sham.
And he's
Well,
right.
You're right.
The best way I can prove it to you is to ask you to rewind the tape back a bit and start somewhere else.
Ugh.
Pizza, burger, dancing. You can begin just about anywhere. I know just where you'll end up.
Amazing.
Well,
I mean,
I have to-
like,
What if I start on Kool-Aid?
it doesn't matter because he gives, like, that's the thing. With math, magic tricks,
No matter where you start, you're still gonna.
right? It's like when, I don't know, if you've watched Red Letter Media, like, you know, dating with magic and all other stupid shit. Like, you learn the patterns, all you have to do, especially with these kind of tricks, like whatever, card tricks, that takes sleight of hand or whatever. But this, as long as numbers still act like they do, and they always will, you can just go, okay, now add 7 and take away 3. And, like, you're basically, like,
Yeah.
you just go, oh, well, since I know you're not there, because it would be a mathematical impossibility to end up on a certain tile no matter what you choose,
Right.
no matter where
Because
you
you can't
started.
go diagonally
Bingo.
or whatever.
I have to go now.
That
I'd
song
love
in
to
the
stay,
background,
but
does anybody
I haven't paid
recognize
my
it?
electricity.
Like, it sounds a little bit like it's bringing, and it might just be the black and white of it all, but it feels very beginning of the end. Maybe This Island Earth.
Bill.
Going mental.
You guys are mental, right? But yeah, it definitely feels like something you've heard in MST3K, right? Something in that genre. You know what I mean?
Watched a lot of 30s or 50s horror movies, so I know I've heard it.
on a seemingly peaceful street, not
Right. Yeah. It's like whatever, because like whatever you were using in the 30s and 40s was, you know, basically stock or whatever at that time.
that far from you.
Whoa. Was this newspaper? Whoa, it's Tom DeLuise. Could have been the slime people indeed, FDL. So he's upset because he's got to get to a Ziploc bag commercial because he's got to tell you how, like, the bags will keep like up to 48 of our meatballs in one of his.
He's late for dinner with Burt Reynolds.
Oh, definitely. What? So it's about Kool-Aid. So it's a video brought to you by Kool-Aid and KB Toys. And we keep having these commercial breaks. I've not seen, what I'm getting at here is like, where's the KB Toys of it all? We played a game all about Kool-Aid, and then we digress to have a little skit about Dom DeLuise who can't get a paper, and then like a little, whatever, was he 8? An 8-year-old, because, they love reading the paper. Like, he comes and does the special, like, speakeasy knock, says swordfish into the lock, and what am I doing here? Where are the toys?
Oh, yeah.
I love this, though.
Let me get the cacophony. I'm hip on a hip tip. Check out my front flip. Let's take a hype trip.
Yikes.
Hipping and hopping non-stop. I ain't stopping.
Guys having sex with a tree.
I'm stupid silliness. It's fun that I'm popping. Stuff with a bluff till you can't get enough. What is you, stupid? It's fat.
What is you, stupid? Going mental? But, aside from that, I did love Purple Saurus Rex.
The way I loop it, let the beat I wrote float like a boat on water. Got the wacky wild lyrics, and you just order. He's what you need him to be hip as you can. I'm the K-O-O-L-A-I-D, man. Somebody sing, somebody sing. Oh, yeah! Kool-Aid man all the way. Say twilly twilly, twilly twilly. Kool-Aid man gonna make you smile. Kabiddly diddly.
Whoa, it's the Sinbad Popeye, right? Ryan Maxwell? I loved that one.
Him
Real
spelling out the name was pretty smooth.
Right. Like, that's the... If you were alive in, like, the late 80s, early 90s, I guarantee it was Alibaba. My bad. Sinbad and Alibaba were on the same cassette for me. But... crap. Where was I going with that? This feels, I'm just going to point out to you, this feels very reboot right now.
And now, a fairy
Because I
tale.
lost the thread of the other thing.
Once upon a time, there was a mischievous little monkey named Wilmer. Wilmer
And he murdered
loved to
his
play
owner.
monkey tricks on unsuspecting grown-ups.
As I'm watching this now, something just occurred to me. I've been watching old footage like this and talking over it my entire life. Because Pee-wee's Playhouse would sometimes do that. I watched an entire, like, probably a 17-minute educational video from the 40s about, like, how to comb your hair and how to order lunch from the cafeteria and, like, how to do your hair when you're going to bed as a girl. Damn, I can't believe I've been doing this for almost 40 years.
One day, Wilmer was at the local airport and decided to play a monkey trick on Pilot Bob.
You put a banana on the pedal? He plays that pedals?
Oh, that Wilmer. What kind of monkey shines is he up to now?
Oh no, he's activating our machine gun and firing at a bunch of civilians. That's zany.
He's gonna cut the
You see,
cords.
What Pilot Bob didn't know is
Man,
that
they got him
Wilmer
fast.
has a basic and fundamental understanding of the mechanics and aerodynamics of modern aircraft. And for all his comical hijinks, Wilmer knew he wasn't doing anything that would put Pilot Bob in danger.
Until he breaks the wing
What
off.
Wilmer hadn't counted on, however, was Pilot Bob's terrible temper.
What the hell is going on?
Meanwhile, at that very moment, little Doreen was lying to her parents.
It's a completely different film stock.
When they didn't believe her, she said, "If I'm lying, may an airplane fall on my head."
And then she died.
So remember, boys and girls, always tell the truth. Because you never know when there's a lunatic monkey in a runaway airplane right above your head.
What the hell is going on? We were in such a great place for so long. 13 minutes almost. I guess maybe 12 if we take back that whole thing we just saw. But like, again, now that we're pretty much over halfway through this, no KB Toys mentioned at all.
Yeah.
What's going on?
In our last episode...
Oh my God. Oh yeah, here we go. You guys remember that from about
4 minutes ago?
Yeah.
And now...
It's just a guy who runs by and smashes a pie into Dom DeLuise's face. Oh. They didn't pay him enough to do any speaking lines.
No.
What does that say? Read it or crap? Read it or reap? Read it.
Read it and reap.
Read it and reap.
Read it and weep? I can't read it from
I
here.
think it is reap. And like, oh, so, you know, again, here's the resolution. So I think what it says, yeah, read it and reap, possibly. And this looks like George Washington, so maybe they're going to get some sort of savings by reading this paper?
Yeah, FDO says read it and reap.
What?
Reap the benefits of this newspaper.
Oh, yeah, there she is. He is, sorry.
Gets arrested for tampering with public property.
If only Dom DeLuise weren't an unpainted mime, he could have called to that kid and been like, hey, little
He's
help. He's gonna.
Oh, I thought he just said something when you paused it.
Nice. Trying to get the cops not to... I mean, he didn't do anything, so what...
Hey, kids.
You gonna leave us on that cliffhanger?
Tired of being couch potatoes? Yeah! Well, it's time for the 1-minute wacky wild workout. With
Holy
your host,
crap.
the eminent wackier sizeologist, the hunk with bulk, the hunk with spoke, and one heck of a nice guy, the Kool-Aid Man! Oh, yeah!
Like the conclusion right there. You know, there's gonna be a newspaper in there, and he's gonna have to go get the kid to steal his newspaper.
Like, the only thing, like, whatever. I would give this video a 10 out of 10 if, like, when it says, whatever it is, and now, like, when Dom, like, it's a cartoon gag, but, like, if a raccoon shot out of the box onto his face and he had to fight it, and that same kid came back to get another paper and then it slammed shut, 10 out of 10. I don't think it's going to happen.
If you're ready to exercise after drinking pure colored syrup.
Hell yeah, I always was.
Twirl around like a spinning top. Keep on twirling. Now stop. Rub your head because you're still feeling dizzy. Take a deep breath. Now we're going to get busy. Do jumping jacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now
Yeah, the 7-Up spot had a video game, but the Kool-Aid Man, to my knowledge, never in a single video game.
Top of your head and rub your belly. Now shake your body like a tub of jelly. Take out your thumb and touch your nose. Wiggle up your fingers and stand on your toes. Count 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. 3, 2, 1, now sit on the floor. But don't you get comfy, stand back up. Take a deep breath. The minute's up. Oh, yeah.
So, given the amount of public domain footage that we have seen thus far in this thing, what do you think the budget was? Like, it took KB Toys and Kool-Aid to come together. Like, you know when Freddy and Jason got together finally and the entire horror community would go like, oh my God, after so many years, like, and you know, they, for the time, did the best that they could. The CGI doesn't hold up, but for the best that they could. Like, are you saying that's what they both put in, Ryan? Kool-Aid and the KB Toys both gave whoever the director was a grand total of $9.98. Because, like, They owned the costume already. I guarantee they had all the shit from the commercials already. What did KB Toys pony up to do for the public domain footage? It's fucking crazy. Like, I guess they had to pay someone to write a bunch of shitty, lazy, low-effort rap. But how much did that cost them? I mean, based on what you're hearing, do you think... Well, that's the thing. I guess it's par for the course. So maybe $150?
Oh, yeah.
He agrees.
From the K9 TV newsroom, Kool-Aid brand soft drink presents Dog News Tonight, spanioling the globe to bring you the latest news about dogs, for dogs, and by dogs. Dateline, Northern California. A dramatic rescue this afternoon as Beowulf, a handsome 4-year-old Siberian husky, resourcefully commandeered a nearby hang glider and intercepted in midair a middle-aged human who had clumsily fallen off a cliff.
Look how comfortable that dog is.
Yep.
Like, this isn't an owner senselessly abusing his dog, who's definitely afraid of heights because they were meant to fly. Yeah, look at him. I mean, obviously, look at that tail. That says, I'm having a good time. This face, like, I mean, you can't see the features, obviously, but it's like, yeah, I'm enjoying flying because I'm a dog.
Beowulf then heroically floated to safety with his heavy
The
cargo
latest
and
news
was
about
rewarded with
dogs
some yummy
shows
table
black and
scraps
white.
and a nice tickle under his
The
chin.
footage.
The human was not injured. Dateline, Massachusetts. The 19th annual Human Agility Trials were held today, and once again,
But today, I mean, 87 years ago.
Dexter, the local favorite, took top honors as his human, a Dutch-Irish mix named John Vanderslice, passed the leg-weaving event with flying colors. The human was less successful with the backflip event, no matter how often he was shown how easily it's done.
Seriously, though, like, what you're watching is basically a movie from the 30s. When movies first started, people were so enthralled by moving pictures and getting out of the heat into a theater. Like, you know, you'd watch ice skating or people dancing, or God knows how long this movie had of these dogs doing tricks that now, like, you wouldn't even put up with it like a SeaWorld show. Like, people would stand in line and pay real money of the day to go into a theater and watch someone with a dog flipping. And now if you walk down Venice Beach, there's one every 10 feet and you pay them zero attention.
Right.
In sports today, another setback for
P.S. All these animals long dead. Not to, like, you know, bum you out.
Dweedles, the primitive humanoid who's been trying to...
So I was thinking of that, Ryan. Like, as we're watching this Kool-Aid thing, I go, I have a Skittles mead going. Like, could we do a Kool-Aid? And obviously we could, because it's nothing but just a package that you could throw into literally anything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, maybe.
Trying to land a pitching spot in the United Fetching League. He tried all afternoon, but was unable to throw a single ball directly at the Fetching League's champion catcher.
900 years before YouTube, people were still getting different species of animal together to videotape their interactions.
McCarver, which understandably got the veteran plenty mad.
I mean, it's no, like, capybara orange iguana mix, but, I mean, not bad for the day.
Better luck next evolution, Dweedles.
His diaper fell off.
And now it's time to
Jesus.
play Stump the Dog, starring Neil, the unstumpable wonder dog.
Hello, and welcome to the show. Today, Neil would like to play a number game with...
Also from Planet Lip Sync, if you weren't sure that the audio you're hearing isn't original to the video that you're seeing.
You, Neil.
Thank you. Kids, please think of a round number from 2 to 9.
What? 2, so from 22 to 9?
Pick a number from 2 to 9. Have you got it?
Okay.
Good.
The answer's Kool-Aid. The fucking answer is Kool-Aid!
Now,
The pen is blue!
you multiply your number by 2. Now, you don't have to do this in your head. You can use pencil and paper if you want to.
We did it. It's done. Go.
Okay, now, to the new answer, add 4. And when
Kool-Aid.
you finish, take the new answer, the green question.
Full disclosure, I never
and
picked a
divide
number.
it by 2.
Okay.
Now, from that, you will take away the number you first thought of.
What?
You subtract from the red answer the first number that you started with.
Did it. Go. Done.
Nope, I didn't pause it. I did now because I was like, oh, did I actually pause it? No, it's just very boring.
Now, Neil will tell you what the remaining number is.
It's 2. What?
Right. That's the shitty thing about this magic trick is like, whatever, it's another math magic trick. So what it does is like, it makes you go through this long, stupid process that gets you back to basically your number you picked plus whatever. And they say, no, minus the number that you chose in the beginning. Right, but all the math made it so that you're always going to come up with 2 or 3 or 10 or 24 or whatever you want the number to be at the end. You write on a little piece of paper. That's just terrible.
You're left with 2. I know that.
You can rewind the tape and try it again.
It was close, though. It was Kool-Aid. Wacky Wild Kool-Aid style.
With another number.
Yeah.
The end.
Keep rewinding this tape, you guys. I want you to rewind it to go to that fucking Kool-Aid Minesweeper thing again, and you'll always have 2.
Sir, is always going to be 2.
Well, that is...
Well, then why would I rewind the fucking tape if the talking dog said that it would be a stupid thing to do? And he's a dog.
all for now. Gee, I wonder if there's anything interesting on another channel.
This is the cassette tape.
Tonight, Thirst Patrol asks your help in locating the following individual. His given name is Kool-Aid Man, alias Hey Kool-Aid Man, alias Newport
What's
for Fun.
happening?
He is wanted in connection with a series of unusual
Keep
entrances in
rewinding
the
it
name of
until it's
quenching
nothing
thirst.
but static and pure
These
distortion.
dramatizations
You just sort of like get sucked into the TV. That wasn't The Exorcist. Was not The Exorcist.
Like The Ring?
No, before that. It's a type of ghost. It's a thing. Poltergeist. Poltergeist is the damn movie. And I totally forgot how I stopped this thing.
Distortion, static, rewinding it until it's there. I don't know why you stopped it.
That's Poltergeist. Poltergeist, everybody.
illustrate his standard modus operandi, an unexpected and frequently earth-shaking bursting on the scene.
Oh, I remember why I stopped this. Where the fuck are the commercials for like the thing that I'm watching? Forget KB Toys. We're never going to hear the words KB Toys or C Toys for sale or whatever. I would settle, because like, again, I assume this is something to sell the product, not just Kool-Aid in general. Like, give me some flavors. We're seeing Purplesaurus Rex, but not mentioning him by name. We're seeing flavors and colors happen to kids and changing their outfit or blowing their eyes out or making chimps talk or whatever. But like nothing specific is going on. It feels like all those commercials like for eggs as a concept or milk as a concept where it's not like a brandable product where they go, hey, would you like an egg? But the thing about eggs is they don't have different flavors. What are we doing here is what I'm getting at. Yeah, I know. There's real fucking skeletons in that movie. It's crazy.
Usually prompted by a child's exclamation of, "Hey, Kool-Aid Man."
Angry, this tape is
Mr. Max of
irrationally
Skeleton
angry.
was paid a recent visit.
It's making
It all
us.
happened so suddenly. Hey, Kool-Aid Man was all my 9-year-old said. Next thing I knew, it was like an earthquake. And I was perfectly willing to let him...
White and brown. I don't know. The brown ones taste an awful lot like the white ones because I'm not racist.
in the front door, too.
Once he appears, Kool-Aid Man has been known to demonstrate his unexpectedly proficient abilities on skateboards, horses, toboggans,
He
and
ruins a lot of
go-karts, much
things.
to the chagrin of nearby adult authority figures.
He's got the body type of anyone who's been on My 600-Pound Life.
I run a pretty respectable roller rink here in town. Then he showed up.
Yeah, okay. If this reference hit home for you, I'm glad. But if it doesn't, sorry about it. But like this pixelation of the face is giving me such strong Secret of Monkey Island vibes, like the original LucasArts game. If you ever played it on MS-DOS back in the 90s, like everybody's face and all the graphics look like this. So this just looks like Guybrush Threepwood trying to, out insult some sword fighter in the woods somewhere.
Oh, sure, everybody was happy to see him. Everybody had a nice, refreshing glass of Purplesaurus Rex flavor Kool-Aid. But have you seen my wall? Who's going to clean that up?
Kool-Aid Man has frequently been spotted in supermarkets, convenience stores, and on top of large cardboard boxes set up
Anytime in any culture, he'll show up and fuck shit up.
by children alongside suburban streets.
better
If
have
you see this
insurance on
individual,
your
you are
building.
advised to take him home immediately. Of course, you should pay the nice cashier first, or else we'll be after you on Thirst Patrol.
Thirst trap.
When I was a kid at the grocery store, I think Kool-Aid per package was 17 cents. Flavor Aid, 14 cents. We drank a lot of Flavor Aid. Because, you know, when, like, your parents are cheap, but they tell you you're poor, you cut a lot of corners and it sucks. Moral of the story is, though, we did also drink a lot of Kool-Aid. Did anybody watching now or in the future or whenever ever redeem any Kool-Aid points? I had a cookie jar full of them. Saved them for literally years. And one day, my mom just threw them out. She goes, oh, we're never going to do anything with them. Because that's 1 point a piece, and everything in there is like so many fucking points. And we had a cookie jar full of them. She goes, nah. Goodbye, childhood hopes and dreams. Like, it would be like someone walking into your bank right now and then personally emptying out your account and like waving it in your face as they light it on fire and throw it out a window. Like, that was the closest thing I had to real currency. It's fucking crazy.
Okay, so this guy wants to buy a newspaper, right? So
There
he
we
puts
go.
the quarter in, but the door doesn't open. It won't budge. So this kid comes up, hits the machine a couple times, presto, newspaper. So the guy tries it. Same way, nothing. Puts another quarter in, tries it again, still nothing. Cops show up, think he's a lunatic. So the guy kicks the thing, door pops open.
And we don't know they think he's a lunatic.
Oh, yeah.
Was he like desperate for work at this point in his life?
I don't know, man. Like, it's... there are so many people who are doing things that I feel like, why are you doing that, right? Like, you could say, well, what is he doing better than this? I don't know, but like, Shaq does like general insurance commercials and like
Right.
iced tea is in a small cup on a Cane's chicken commercial and shit. Like, celebrity's only good when you have it at its peak, and then you sort of slip into like, you know, not whatever. If you hate her, you hate her. If you don't, you don't. Whatever. But like, I just saw Amy Schumer in like a tampon commercial.
Yeah, well.
You know, not that what's she doing, because like, yeah, whatever. If you have an opinion there, but you know, that currency doesn't last forever. It's like your Kool-Aid points and your mom throws them away. Eventually, you gotta just take what pays.
Yeah.
But this doesn't seem like. You know, but then again, he was doing Ziploc bag commercials because I remember those clear as a bell. So maybe. Is that Steve Gutenberg? Talking about Police Academy earlier. We're gonna immediately beat him. Number one. Number two. Why is that newspaper dispensing machine not bolted to the concrete?
Right. FDO just thinks Shaq loves doing commercials.
Maybe he does, because like he was in a Buick commercial. I remember him getting into, or maybe it was Oldsmobile when they still existed, but like he's like, big enough for me. And I go, that's fun. But like, how many 7 foot plus tall people are going to be like, oh, finally a car for me, and it's a Buick? Like, I get it, but like, I don't know, man. It kind of feels like Snoop Dogg has this reputation where like he'll show up on any project if you pay him because he's like on Corey Feldman's album. And Steve Gutenberg's gonna break off his nightstick and Tom DeLuise's ass. This was the largest automobile I could afford.
I've heard that he does general commercials because they insured him in college when nobody else would.
Maybe, but that's the thing. Like, Shaq is like he got the reputation of one of the nicest celebrities ever. So I totally believe that being true, but it feels like more often than not, that's not the case. Because, like, out here, Thunder Dan Marley of the Phoenix Suns, like the fucking showstopper Suns when they had Barkley and KJ and Ainge, and, like, they were blowing the shit out. And, like, Barkley was playing basketball against Godzilla. You know, cut forward to semi-contemporary, and, like, you know, Dan Marley is wearing just a purple tank top, dribbling a ball, being like, you should go to emergency chiropractic if you're in an auto accident. I don't know if I'm going to take the advice of someone who, like, was on the fucking Suns during the Barkley KJ Ainge era and is now, like, dribbling a ball for a local chiropractor.
Shaq used to have his specially made NBA Jam arcade machine delivered to every hotel he was in at one point.
That's hilarious. I loved NBA Jam back in the day. You know what I mean?
You see, I was...
This old lady has had enough of that shit. But, like, how lazy are these cops? Like, if you take a cop's anything, like, that's a... You might as well just, like, kiss your ass goodbye.
Right.
They just snatches at it. Like, how strong is that dude's grip?
See, oh no, you don't understand. It's out of order.
Speaking
You're
line.
out of order, you maniac.
This whole damn system is out of order. You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth. And you can't handle the truth. Steven Gutenberg.
Take him away.
Who are you?
That's the chief. She's undercover.
The crazy pigeon lady.
Holy shit, you guys. I did not... Whoa. I had a doll of this character. I did not know it was anything more than a stuffed animal I had. I had Baby Marvin. It looked exactly like this. I had no idea it was a thing from anywhere. And I lived through that shit.
Very
it was
popular.
a strip. Holy shit. So, like, you know, I knew Garfield growing up. I saw that everywhere. I didn't know Baby Marvin was from a strip, but I had, like, I don't have it here anymore. I took it up to the armetery. But, like, that big Garfield plushie I had, like, the same size and shape of this Marvin character. It's fucking wild. Don't pay attention, Martha. Yeah. Is this like a Maximum Overdrive, but instead of cars, it's newspaper boxes that come to life and hassle people? Holy shit.
Started in 82.
At that very moment, on the other side of town,
The bad side. Here's the thing, guys. If you owned a camcorder or any sort of video-capable device, you were doing shit like this back in the 90s. Like, I did stop-motion animation with foil and clay, and we did all sorts of this same bullshit because it felt so easy. I mean, you could do it at home, neat as you please. So seeing it now is like, God damn, that's so lazy. But this predates CGI and all of this shit. I mean, half of this, 80% of this is public domain footage. So, I mean, what do I expect?
Yeah, I'm sure it took for fucking ever.
The mild ones. Cut to fucking 30 years later, and that shows up on SpongeBob. The mild ones. You guys remember that episode? You do.
Screams Monty Python.
It does. Like, at some point, I just want to see a giant foot come down and smash them all. How was he able to put his feet together through his motorcycle? Guys. This is fucking insane. Okay, you know what this also reminds me of? And if you saw it, you'll totally know what I'm talking about. But PBS in the 80s had teeny little super guy. He was a detective on a kitchen glass, and he would solve crimes for all the various, like, salt and pepper shakers and other glasses and shit. But it was like all this sort of stop motion animation of a glass moving around that I assume they just animated the cartoon characters over in post, obviously. But that's what this totally feels like, except like lazy. Yeah, teeny little super guy. I knew you'd know, Ryan. We're gonna hit my girlfriend.
Whoever can run her over first wins. Racing for pinks.
Can't even see what they're racing, because like these guys all have their legs together. These guys have their legs apart, meaning there's something in between them, hypothetically. Like, are these guys sitting on scooters?
They're on like Vespas.
Is that the corporate CF50s? Okay, now it feels a little bit like Road Rash. You guys play the Sega Saturn? Road Rash 3D, I mean. These damn cops. Get Road Rash 3D, man. That shit was crazy. I don't get the point of this.
It's so long. Like, this had to have taken them forever.
Number one, like, this is for people who are going to consume Kool-Aid and then spend their allowance at KB Toys. And we just saw like 5 dudes get murdered. And that chick's butt was all out. Like, this is for kids.
License registration for each of you, please.
I guess they didn't die.
No. Well, 3 of them didn't.
Yeah. So they only killed 2 of them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's ticket worthy.
I'ma kick my last verse. Wacky and wild, making you smile, cold Kool-Aid style. No kind of working, just jerkity jerking.
Just jerking? Oh my God. I was never jerking it when I had Kool-Aid style.
Smiling and smirking, laughing and burping. Swollen pockets mean I'm bad at
jerking and burping.
Then you know, that ain't bad when you think about it. Yo, I'ma see you, maybe be ya. I'm controller on a roller, but until I'm a chick, you'll really ill like that. Oh yeah. Somebody say.
Jerking Kool-Aid two stick.
Say twilly twilly, twilly twilly. Kool-Aid man gonna make you smile. Skabilly diddly.
Oh, the pop I see when the painting flipped.
Yeah. That's from the Alibaba one again, but
this is like Old West
It took
font.
3 people. It took 3 people to write and produce that, and one of them's name was Stu Sleppin. Stu Sleppin? Mm-hmm. Bob Teeman? This is...
Where you gonna find all the hottest toys on the planet?
The last 10 seconds.
We have 35 seconds left, guys, and they gave it all the KBs.
Mars? No! On a mountaintop?
It's at the mall, stupid.
KB Toy Stores, it's the place to shop. You'll see all the ladies.
This is crazy because, like, during the third Dom DeLuise segment where he's fighting that zany newspaper machine, it was giving me the Muppet movie vibes. I feel like Dom DeLuise showed up in one of those movies. It was either the Muppet movie, the Manhattan one. Shit,
no idea. Ryan,
I can't remember their names for some reason. They just fell out of my head. But it was giving me like super strong Muppet movie at least vibes. And here we are watching Sesame Street quality Muppets.
Can't find that popular new toy? If it's hot,
Go
then
to hell.
KB's got it. And you'll find
Brandy
a big
Bones
selection of the hottest toy hits every day at all of our convenient locations.
All the latest toys to choose from.
Right, it was the Muppet movie, the Muppets Take Manhattan, and the Great Muppet Caper. There we go. So the Muppets Take Manhattan and the Great Muppet Caper, where I think it was the Diamond. They're like, and like Charles Grodin falls in love with Miss Piggy. God damn, like the 80s were just setting up children to become perverts in the 2000s. And they're doing it now. Like Facebook is trying to make me a sex pervert literally every day. Except now instead of like Muppets, it's anime girls. Like, why does Facebook think I want... I don't know, guys. There are so many sex perverts out there. There you go. It's copyright. Get ready for this stream to be pulled down immediately. We just violated it all over the show.
Perfect.
That being said, thanks for coming by and watching that. It was a wild ride, and it kind of felt like... Go with me on this. It kind of felt like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the Gene Wilder... the Gene Wilder one. Everything was going well, and then somewhere around like the halfway to like 3/4 mark, we had to go take that boat ride through that crazy tunnel. And now here we are on the other side. And
FDO says it's called hentai and it's art. And Ryan says, well, you did marry a pot, so I wouldn't talk if I were you.
That's the thing. There are so many weird things out there. I can't believe they exist, but you just have to, if you have an idea, you just have to already realize that that's probably a thing. So you go, would people do that? They already are doing it because there are so many gross people and things out there. But like, we weren't helping in the 80s. Like, it feels like we as humans were growing up and nobody realized in time that like all these anthropomorphic animals and like, I'm sure Roger Rabbit, this is different from the furry thing, but like Jessica Rabbit and people getting in love with cartoon characters and shit. I was just watching, obviously I love lolcows. I was watching this documentary. I can't remember the kid's name because it's the first I've ever heard of him, but he's like in love with all the giant dragon Pokemon and his fetish is he wants to be eaten by them. So he can live in their bellies and like marry them and also be eaten by them. He's what's called a vor. And like, where did that come from? Because like do you think like when the Canterbury Tales come out or the Brothers Grimm fairy tales and all this shit, like they're talking donkeys and shit, you think some kids were just like, whoa, that talking donkey was super hot. And then they look out the window at their farm and go, oh yeah. It just feels like every day, but like, they were fairy tales. I feel like now we're focused on making regular things and non-human entities thirst traps. Mm-hmm. Like how many Pokemon look like ladies now? It's disgusting. Thank you for the hat compliment.
Ryan likes your flamingo cane. I think he just put that there. I don't think that's always been there.
It's been there for like a year. Want to see it? I dropped my face hugger. Yeah, I have a friend of mine is a woodworker, and he made this for me. And there's like put my name on it. There's a feather on it somewhere. Anyway, yeah. So look at that. Flamingos. Part of the show. Anyway, so I digress. There we are. Bunch of crazy shit. What a wild time. That was so 94. I can't believe that it took the rest of the world to get where Kool-Aid was in 91. At least for the first half, before we got on the boat. What do they call that? Ferry. Let's call it that. Anyway.
God! No reaction!
That's all we've got for you. I appreciate you showing up for this. I feel like, in a couple of days, we'll go back to our true crime, maybe. If I feel like it, I've got a couple we can go over. The book sucked. Which book? So yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. There's still that 4-hour one we got to crack into. And I know everybody's waiting for Colonel Russell Williams and all that good stuff if you're into that. But spaghetti and gravy. No, it's spaghetti and chili. Skyline way, apparently. Yep. Whatever. I don't want to complain about spaghetti anymore. But if you start me, I won't stop. All right, guys. Thank you so much for showing up for this bizarre 99% Kool-Aid, 1% KB Toys extravaganza. And we will catch you on the next episode. So, yeah, thank you so much.
Bye.
Adios.
more than try to.
Oh, yes.
Fistful of Podcasts Radio.